Carnegie Mellon. We're great at a lot of things. We're first in computer science, in drama, in depression. Let's go ahead, take a look at the campus and see what makes this school so great for its students. So right here behind me, we have the Walking to the Sky sculpture. Now, what the sculpture is, it kind of just looks like a giant chopstick planted in the middle of campus. But what it serves as is basically a marker, a center point for the center of campus. So if you ever get lost on this campus, you can just look for the giant metal rod poking into the sky and you can find your way. Now the sculpture of the one in the yellow is pretty famous for one asset in particular that I'm sure you'll be able to understand. So behind me right now is my favorite building on campus, and it is the Tepper School of Business. Now this building is probably my favorite on campus because I think it's the prettiest. It's probably the biggest too. And it was completed in 2018, so only a few years ago, and to the tune of $205 million. And it's got this beautiful lawn where in the summertime or in the fall is really pretty with all of these trees that are currently not the best. But on the inside, you're hit immediately with this huge open area with a ton of windows and a bunch of natural light. Inside, what you also have are a couple different food options, including an ice cream place, various different breakout rooms on the higher floors, as well as these interesting little productivity pods. The next building that we have coming up is the Gates Building of Computer Science. And I found out recently that it's not the only Gates Building of Computer Science in the United States. It's actually one of the uglier ones. It kind of just looks like a giant black blob with a bunch of different windows. And on the inside of it, what you'll see is a bunch of different little rooms that people can go study in. There's also this one area on the 5th floor where all of the office hours for a lot of the different computer science classes are held, which when office hours time comes is super hectic because there's so many people trying to get help. There's often people that have to sit on the floor just to get help. Now, I was pretty harsh on the Gates building appearance, but there actually is one view of the building that is pretty nice, and that's out of the 3rd floor entrance, as you can see right here. The next thing that we're gonna be taking a look at is called Beep Boop, and what it is it's just this intersection between Forbes Avenue and Morewood Avenue. And the reason why it's called Beep Boop is because of the sound that it makes when the students can start crossing. We can pick it up right here. Beep, boop. You kind of have to use your imagination. The next area of campus that we're gonna take a look at is the Cut, and we've actually already seen a glimpse of it over here with the Walking to the Sky sculpture. What the Cut actually is this area of lawn in between the UC and the School of Drama, as well as between the College of Fine Arts and Crafts and Hammerschlag Hall. Basically just all the green on campus that you see is the Cut. What's really interesting about the Cut is that we have the fence there. We have this interesting tradition at the fence, and what the tradition is that organizations across CMU constantly try and take over the fence. And what taking over the fence means is that you get 2 or more people from your organization stationed at the fence while the fence is unguarded. And what being unguarded means is that no one from the previous organization who painted the fence is there. So the fence is unguarded. Your organization, who has people who want to take over the fence, can then send 2 people over there, and now the fence is guarded by your organization. The next building that we're going to be taking a look at is the College of Fine Arts and Crafts. And being a STEM student, I really can't do it justice. I just know a few different spots within the actual building, and those are on the basement. There's a bunch of different practice rooms where students can go and practice their instrument, as well as on the 2nd floor, there is this area called the mezzanine that houses a bunch of different pianos, and sometimes if you're lucky, the door will be open and you can play some piano. So we're now here in front of Baker Hall, which connects to Porter Hall, and these are 2 of the older buildings on campus. And there is a rumor that Andrew Carnegie, when he first built these 2 lecture halls, purposely made the hallways slanted so that if the university didn't work out, the buildings could easily be turned into a factory. So as you can see along the Cut, there are various different buildings. This one right here in front of us is Doherty, and to the left of that is Wean Hall, which is our next stop. In the middle there is Hammerschlag Hall, And these two buildings are the ones that we just took a look at, Baker and Porter. So we're now in front of Wean Hall, which is probably the weirdest looking building on campus, and it's because of this yellow block right here. Now I believe this yellow block is a lecture hall, and it's just so odd that it sticks completely out of the rest of the building. One other interesting thing about Wean Hall is that there is this little coffee shop on campus right inside called La Prima, and a lot of people go there for their coffee religiously. Right now we're on the 5th floor of Wean. It can get pretty annoying walking around all of the buildings to get to where you want to go. So now I'm going to show you some of the tunnels that were built in order to make going from building to building easier. So if we go down to the 4th floor of Wean Hall, we can see running a corner right now that we'll be going to New El Salmon, which has a pretty nice dining area called Hunan Express. It also has a bunch of various robotics things that I'm honestly not too familiar with. And now that we're in New El Salmon Hall, we can quickly be transported to Gates Hall through another tunnel. This tunnel leads directly to the 4th floor of Gates, which is one of the main floors that you can exit from. Right now, we are in front of the Student Activity Center, better known as the University Center. Better known as the UC, and the UC has everything that a student activity center would have. It has the info desk, it has a swimming pool, it has the gym. It doesn't have any classes, but it has a couple different dining locations that you can choose from. So I'm now going to talk about one of the most important parts of Carnegie Mellon campus, and they are the bus stops. Right here, I'm in front of the Tepper bus stop, which is just the bus stop that's in line on campus with the Tepper school. The other important bus stop on campus is the UC bus stop, which, as the name implies, is just right in front of the UC. And the reason why these bus stops are so important is because these will be your main source of transportation out and into campus. Some of the important bus lines are any of the 61 lines, which lead directly into downtown Pittsburgh all the way back to campus and further on through Squirrel Hill, which is where a lot of people live. Another important bus line is the 67, which leads down Beeler, which is where a lot of people also live. That one doesn't come nearly as often as the 61 lines do. Another important bus line is the 28X, and the reason why that one is important is because it leads to and from the airport, so you can actually go to and from the airport for free with your Carnegie Mellon ID. Thank you so much for watching my video about the touring of Carnegie Mellon's campus. If there's something that I didn't cover in the video that you want to see covered, please let me know down below in the comments. And in general, if there's anything that you thought about the video, just please let me know in the comments. Any feedback would be so helpful. Thank you.